Everybody knows you, of course, from the Supremes, and that was something that I think you made music history with that group.
Yeah, and you know what's strange about that is that when we started out at the age of 13, we didn't know we were going to be that
You
huge.
couldn't have known.
And all we wanted was just to sing. I mean,
Yeah.
just to sing, so that we became three little black girls from the Brewster Projects in the early 60s, late 50s.
Hey guys, I wanted to share some of the habits I've been trying to pick up again, and the main thing is reading, because I used to love reading when I was younger and also growing up, but for some reason it's like once I finished law school, I just did not have the desire to read as much as I did anymore. I decided to follow up with reading, and if you don't know, I love reading nonfiction books, autobiographies with that in mind. So I've read Mary Wilson's two autobiographies that you can get on Amazon, but it's in one book, and it's Mary Wilson's Dreamgirl autobiography, as well as her other autobiography, which were very successful, I think New York bestsellers, Supreme Faith. And I do admire her telling her story about her time of when she grew up in Mississippi to being able to move to Detroit, growing up, how she came upon the original Supreme members, Diana Ross and Florence Ballard, how they started practicing and becoming into what we know of today as the Supremes, which is one of the most iconic girl groups that is known to man. And it also sheds light on her dealings within the industry, with Diana, with other people within the music industry, kind of like the politics that she spoke about, which I had enjoyed. And I also like how she talked about, you know, after Diana left and a lot of the members were switched and Florence being kicked out of the group, how she was still able to still be a Supreme through and through, shine her light bright as ever, and she did everything with grace. That's what I loved about this book, that, you know, even though she was going through some of the things she went through within the industry as well as outside of the industry, she still managed to put her best foot forward with grace. And what I admire is you can tell through her tone in the book that she was a very humble human being. She never took what Motown did for her and Diana and Flo, the original members of the Supremes, for granted. And she had such just a beautiful spirit and a beautiful personality and a gorgeous woman. I was happy in the end of how she was finally able to excel, live the life that she wanted, and do things her way, like within her solo career. I got to know a little bit more about Mary because when you hear the Supremes, like, I didn't really grow up, like my parents didn't listen to music like that. So it was just interesting to hear her side of the story of how she was like one of the original members of the Supremes, and her life and everything that she decided to be transparent about and share with us in this book. We should all be grateful for Ms. Wilson, just her plight, her journey to stardom, and how she persevered and came out on top. So again, if you love reading nonfiction books and you're a music lover like me, I think you would enjoy this book about Miss Mary Wilson, and rest in peace to Miss Wilson, and just the path that she made for other musicians that we also know in the music business or entertainment business today. So again, thank you, Miss Wilson, for sharing your story, and it was a great read.